Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the all-new Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this TRD Pro. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Mitch. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have the iForce Max, which is a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's paired to a hybrid system. Total system output is 437 horsepower and then 583 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 18 around town and then 20 on the highway. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting with the hood here, you guys can see it's kind of flat there in the center, but then you have these really muscular bulges there on either side. And then we have the TRD Pro decal on this little accent piece, and it looks cool. Coming down below, you guys can see here with the LED lights, and then look at the daytime running light as well. That looks fantastic. We have the marker lights here on the TRD Pro, which contrast nicely with the black paint on this particular truck. We have the Heritage Toyota logo with a light bar below that logo, and then you got a camera below the light bar. I know everything's kind of stacked up. You got fog lights right here, and then you have some like military print. I'll give you guys a closer look in just a second. So here's a closer look at that military print, and then notice you got a Tundra logo there, parking sensors, and then underneath, look at this. We got our TRD skid plate action happening, and then you have those little like red pieces on the other side. I mean, it looks just so cool. And when you put it all together, the spec on this Tundra is just so cool. Tire and wheel setup is 285, 65, 18 in the front and in the rear as well. And then we have BBS forged wheels, which are all blacked out, and you've got the red TRD Pro accenting, which I think looks fantastic, and quite a bit of sidewall there on those tires, and the tread pattern's pretty aggressive too. Now, with the TRD Pro package, we have TRD tuned shocks and suspension. Now, these shocks are Fox branded shocks, and yeah, that's a cool look right there. Now we got another marker light here, and then look at the military print there for the fender flare. And then notice you got like the matte finish here on the mirror and then also on the door handles. And then when you look at the side profile of this truck, it just looks absolutely menacing. Now, one thing I will say is I hope that Toyota in the future eventually releases a package with the Pro that has 35s, because if you just lift this truck up a little bit and throw 35s on it, oh man, that would be the sweet spot. Now there's a quick look at the top part of the Fox shock here in the rear. And then you can see the shock from the below view, and then notice we have a multi-link setup here in the rear. Solid rear axle, I didn't mention, but the front has independent front suspension. So here's our key fob for the Pro. You guys can see we've got our unlock function, our lock function, and then the opening for the tailgate. You can see that pops right down. Now with the bed with this truck, you guys can see all protected on the tailgate because we have a composite bed here. With the TRD Pro, you've got those lights here in the bed, and then we have a full outlet as well. 1,355 pounds of payload capacity. Towing capacity with the new Tundra is right around like 10,000 pounds roughly. Ooh, I'm just over-exaggerating. Now I've got this button here on the side to actually lower down the tailgate, and then look at the new style of taillights. And then we have the TRD Pro exhaust tips down below, and you can see the splash guard right next to that. We do have some parking sensors here in the rear, and then look at the military print again, and then TRD Pro stamped into the tailgate, and then you got more of that like military print here at the top. And then look at that, we got more marker lights there, and then I believe there is one here, yeah, on the fender flare in the rear. And then when you put it all together, this truck from every single angle I think looks really good. Like, I'm actually a pretty big fan of the Tundra's new styling, but I am especially a big fan of the TRD Pro styling. Now popping inside, this one has a full red interior, so you guys can see like the accenting here in the back, and then look at the padding and the red stitching that goes across. Decent storage space here on the door panel. And then look at these seats again, red seats, and then you've got that same kind of like military print theme design in the center. And then we actually do have under seat storage as well. And then look at the little tire there. That's pretty cool. Now when it comes to legroom here in the back of the TRD Pro, it's actually really good. We've got a little storage pocket here, and then you guys can see we've got some cup holders, got some more storage space down below that, and then some USBs with an outlet. And then yes, we do have a cup holder armrest. For those of you wondering, headroom's really solid. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see the red stitching there at the top, and then look at the red trim down below. And then there's a better look, kind of like the red stitching and padding. I think it looks really cool. We've got all of our window controls here, our door lock and unlock, mirror adjustments, the mirrors do power fold in. We've got memory seats, tons of storage space, and then we do have blind spot monitoring here with the mirrors. Now again, red seats, TRD Pro, and again, look at that military theme print all throughout the seat. And then you've got all of your power adjustments and then lumbar support right there. And then yes, Tundra TRD Pro yet again. Really cool finish on the pedals. And then you guys can see here with the heated steering wheel control, gas cap release, that's kind of the main stuff. And then that's turning the light bar on the front. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. So here's the steering wheel with the TRD Pro. You guys can see perforated all around, so it gives you a better grip and it just looks cool. You got the marker there at the top and then TRD at the bottom. Even the airbag cover has some nice stitching. We do have adaptive cruise control with lane keep assist, voice command volume controls on the other side, and then controls for the center stack, turn signal light stock, and then windshield wiper stock. Now we have this full digital gauge cluster, and notice it says iForce Max because, well, that's the powertrain this has, and that is standard, by the way, if you guys are wondering, that powertrain. Notice we can see a bunch of different bits of information there on the left side. Now, as for the rest of the gauge cluster, another cool thing is with the drive modes. We have on-road drive modes. We have a normal, sports, and an eco. And then you have to be in four-wheel high, but you can press the multi-terrain select button. And then we have an auto, dirt, sand, and mud, and then deep snow that we can also go through when it comes to drive modes. And they got cool little animations for them, or pictures at least. In reverse, we have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And then look at the bird's eye view as well. And there are so many different angles that we can see out of this camera system, which is pretty cool. And then you guys can see even the bed view as well. And then this is pretty fun, so you can slide that and then it pops us into like an off-road mode with the camera system. And so you guys can see like pitch and roll and then on the sides of the truck. And so when it comes to cameras, this thing's solid. As for the rest of the infotainment system, you guys can see the shortcut bar here on the side. And you know, overall response with it is actually pretty dang solid, easy to use. And this is basically Toyota's smaller infotainment system, but then just blown up to be bigger. Now we have a dual zone climate system. We have heated and cooled seats, and then you got like a USB there off the side, and then this is actually your volume control. This is for like your trailer backup system. You guys can see here for the camera, stability control, hazard lights, and then we do have a rear locker here with the TRD Pro. We've got our parking brake there, and then you guys can see with the auto hold as well. We have our TRD shifter here. Notice the red accenting in the center, and then it does have a manual shift function if you can shift the gears yourself. Wireless phone charging pad, and then you got some more storage down below, and then we got some cup holders right here. And then look at the drive line select. So we have two-wheel high, and four-wheel low, and then a drive mode select, tow haul mode as well. You just press that in to do the tow haul mode. And then multi-terrain select, like I said, to be in four-wheel high, and then your hill descent control. We've got more of that cool red stitching here on the center console. Of course, we have the Tundra window, but opening up the center console, this one has a lockbox in it, which is pretty cool. Got some USBs, decent storage overall. You notice the red goes all across the dash, and then we got the Toyota logo there at the top. Again, the Heritage logo, which is pretty fun. Big glove box. We got Toyota's fancy camera mirror system here at the top, and then we do have a power setting window. The whole window goes down, which is cool. And then panoramic sunroof. So here's a window sticker for this TRD Pro. You guys can see the standard equipment, and almost everything is standard with the TRD Pro, which is something that I really appreciate. Base MSRP $68,520, and there are some extra options you can add to this, like there's paint protection film on the front end. $71,486 is the total MSRP. And let's take this back to its parking space. So let's talk about visibility before we set off to the parking space of the TRD Pro. So you guys can see visibility over the hood. Both mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. Then throughout the rest of the rear. I realized I didn't talk about the trailer brake controls in the video. And also the fact that this has a freaking red seatbelt. You know what? You'd think I'd be a professional car reviewer at this point, but apparently not. I'm just a filthy casual. But anyways, setting off in the TRD Pro. This vehicle actually feels pretty special. I think Toyota's done a good job with kind of rebranding the TRD Pro to like be even more hardcore off-roady in terms of like the looks. And I mean, like this interior, like seriously, compared to the last generation, this just feels like you're getting so much more. Now first off with the hybrid powertrain, and powertrain's solid. It makes sense why they put it as standard in the TRD Pro, so that you have like the most premium powertrain and the most premium you know, package for the Tundra. Obviously you have the capstone that's technically above this, but like, let's be honest, we all want TRD Pros over capstones, right? I know there's a few of you that are watching this and be like, no, I like the capstone more. Okay, you're in the minority. But yeah, it's a good powertrain. And I will say though, it doesn't really feel that much peppier compared to the standard powertrain. It is a little bit, but it's not nearly as much as what you would think. I mean, like it's like instant. That's the big thing about the hybrid, is you get that like instant push, whereas you don't get that same instant push out of the standard powertrain. You got a little bit of turbo lag, but still very monstrously powerful. I really like this package. The only thing that I can say that's bad about this package is that availability is just not very good with it, which obviously that makes it feel more special for the people that do get them. But I feel like Toyota could build a few more of these and it would still feel special. So I might be wrong on my numbers, but I think only like 5% of Tundras are built out to be TRD Pros. I think they could jump that up to like, I don't know, 10-15%, and that's still like a small enough number that like most people that have a Tundra won't have a TRD Pro, but more people would get a TRD Pro, and I still think that people would be willing to pay full sticker price for them. And like, it wouldn't be a thing where Toyota would have to start discounting TRD Pros because they've flooded the market with them. I think that the demand is definitely there, because, you know, at this point, Ford Raptor is like an $80,000 truck starting, and, you know, after options, you're like a $90,000 truck. And so this being $71,000 is great compared to the Raptor when it comes to pricing. And I think that most people realize they're not going to use the Raptor for what it's meant to be used for, and same thing with this truck. And so they're okay with spending, you know, $20,000 less and getting less off-road capability. But I will say, since this is a little bit more rare than the Raptor, you'll look cooler at the Starbucks drive-thru, that is for sure. Let me know what you guys think about the TRD Pro. Let me know if you'd get this or the Raptor, considering the price difference. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this TRD Pro. Again, a huge shout out and thanks to the Large Miller Toyota here in Murray for giving me some time with this truck. Check out the info in the description down below. I'll see you.